Oftentimes we go through life hacking away at mountains in our path, pushing the proverbial boulder uphill, unaware of the blisters on our feet, the calluses on our hands. So focused on the obstacles in front of us, we walk through life half empty, hard, and blinded to the beauty that lies on the periphery of our vision. Until something unexpected happens. We find something rather ordinary and unassuming, and yet that same thing can bring us to tears. It may be a small gesture from someone you know, or a chance encounter with someone you just met. It was there all along, and yet it reminds you of the thing that you've been missing in your life. And then the once dammed rivers of your emotion begin to flow again. When I was young, I didn't have a strong opinion about anime. I watched shows like Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, and Pokemon, but it took me a while to figure out that anime was a distinct sort of animation. I mean, I liked anime, I suppose, but I also liked Angry Beavers and Ed, Edd n Eddy. Animation was all the same to me. It wasn't until I was older and started watching shows like Naruto and Bleach that I started to appreciate anime as something separate from cartoons. Still, I don't think I liked it as much as I knew some did. For many of the anime kids I knew, anime was an identity. It meant courage and adventure and action and not giving up, and had the power to inspire and bring them to tears. Anime had no such power over me at that time. I was primarily in it for the fight scenes. Until the day I came across One Piece, an anime that for a long time I had been warned against because it was too long to both start or complete, which even at that time hadn't even cracked 600 episodes. But I watched it. And for the first time I can remember, I really cried watching an anime. And when I did, I felt something that I hadn't felt before. Hope. Watching the formation of the Straw Hat crew was something I had never seen before in anime. In concept, many shonen main characters form a team of friends that help them save or get whatever, but there was something inherently different about the way that One Piece tackled this idea. The Straw Hat Pirates weren't looking for friends when they joined the crew. None of the Straw Hat Pirates even joined the crew out of a shared ambition. It was Luffy's dream, as the captain of the Straw Hats, to become the king of the pirates, not theirs. Instead, the initial members of the Straw Hat crew joined Luffy because he offered them hope for the future. Every crewmate, prior to following Luffy, had already resigned themselves to life lived in shadow, life unfulfilled, and tethered to the wounds of their past. When we first met Nami, she was devoted to her mission to purchase her freedom from the ruthless pirate Arlong, who was responsible for the murder of her adoptive mother, and who had a chokehold on her town and family in the East Blue, a mission that Arlong had no intentions of allowing her to complete. Nami, without seeing a way out of her perpetual servitude as Arlong's cartographer, nearly destroyed herself for the chance that she'd one day be free. Sanji, born a prince but viciously cut off from his family as a mere child, beheld himself to Red Leg Zeph, the pirate chef, after he saved him after being lost at sea, inspired by Sanji's dream of finding the oceans all blue. Yet Sanji grew to resist his dream, and Luffy's proposition to join his crew, out of loyalty to the man that saved him and raised him, and the family he grew to love. When Luffy stepped in to save Nami and Sanji, and the rest of his eventual crewmates, he didn't just save them from their present circumstances. He also delivered unto them a hope for the fulfillment of their dreams, dreams that they no longer would have to defer under the Straw Hat's Jolly Roger. Nami could now seek her dream of making a map of the entire world as a navigator. Sanji could now seek to find the all blue, the ultimate sea of culinary bounty for a chef. Usopp could become a brave warrior of the sea. Chopper could see the world and find a cure to every illness he'd encounter. Zoro has a means of facing fierce battles with a family to protect, as he works to become the strongest swordsman in the world. The hope that the Straw Hat represents means dreams fulfilled and lasting friendship, a hope that is strong enough to challenge the entire world. In becoming pirates, the Straw Hats know that they'll be hated and feared across the world. As pirates, they know that there are powers and authorities that would seek to dismantle and destroy them. Yet knowing this, they choose to follow their hope. Seeing this taught me to love anime and what One Piece represents. I shed many tears watching the formation of the Straw Hats because I too lived a life deferred. The resonance of my experience with the pain of the Straw Hats caused my whole being to vibrate. Like so many, I have experienced abuse, felt trapped by someone, been rejected by those who were supposed to protect me, and subsequently turned into something I hated and never wanted to be, deciding then that life was a state of perennial bleakness. Like Robin of the Straw Hat crew, she had everything taken from her. She didn't have a chance to grow up with her mother, and when they had only just met, she was forced to leave her. Her mother, entire family, and culture was obliterated by a corrupt government. She was labeled a dangerous monster in the world and was forced to live her life amongst the lowest forms of villainy and evil. She had to become something she wasn't.
I'd be a great asset to you and your friends.
Huh. You're full of confidence. What's your specialty?
Killing.
And constantly having to figure her way out of situations, the only dream that she allowed herself was the pursuit of knowledge, an ancient knowledge, and the last remnant of her people and home. Starting as an enemy of the Straw Hats, twice she was rescued by Luffy and his crew. Each time, in response, she dared herself to live in spite of facing certain death. Each of the Straw Hats, in their own way, chose to live. They chose their dreams. To see characters so thoroughly broken by life and their inability to do things on their own strength, to see characters so lost in depression choose life and hope, was something I had never seen duplicated in anime. Normally, teams in anime are formed by chance or on a whim, but Luffy intentionally sought his crewmates, and the choices they made to join the crew and reject the pain they'd known for so long, a pain that nearly eclipsed their entire world, aren't choices lightly made. They couldn't have been. A parable from Mother Teresa explains that while she was feeding a starving girl some bread, the girl ate slowly, only crumb by crumb. And after Mother Teresa encouraged her, "Eat, eat," the girl explained that she was afraid to eat the bread because when the bread is finished, she will be hungry again. To starve in life and then to be given bread to eat, knowing hunger will come again, but expecting more bread to arrive thereafter, is a courageous act of hope. The hope that Luffy fashioned the Straw Hat Jolly Roger from was evident even in the very beginning of the series. When questioned about his dream to become the king of the pirates, Luffy would respond,
In fact, it's not about if I can. I'm doing this because I want to. I decided long ago that I'm gonna be king of the pirates. If I have to die fighting for that, then I die.
Luffy believes in his dream so strongly that he would risk dying to achieve it. To wager your life for the fulfillment of your dream, a dream that isn't promised, instead of forfeiting that life out of the despair of not reaching it, is the hope that the Straw Hat represents. To build a family from nothing, one that becomes a sure foundation to reach that dream, is the hope that the Straw Hat represents. A hope that you can think about and smile at, remembering that when you're alone and lost, you have a whole life to wager your dream on. A life full of chances to find your way to your dreams, and chances to build a crew whose strengths become your own, to walk another day, and to turn away from your past. A life of a Straw Hat.
Just this once, and I